Beautiful, deep divers. I'm just, woo, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Deep divers. Once again, I'm back. I'm back. The battery ran out, deep divers. Shout out to everybody diving deep. Woo! We were cooking in part one. This is part two. The world's greatest lie, deep divers. This video will leave you speechless. So, where was I, deep divers? Oh, yeah, let's go to the club. When you go to the club, you are being beaten to death, right? That's why they call it a club. So, the world's greatest lie is all about, hey, you need alcohol to have a good time. I used to be around friends who could only be happy when they were drunk. And I started to realize that I don't blame them. This was part of the programming I too received. Hey, let's take some shots. But when you take a shot, you kill yourself. So I said, okay, 7-day vegan challenge, pass me a cucumber. Right? And cucumber has over 90% water. So we have to remind ourselves, deep divers, we don't need a whole lot to be happy. People say, Ralph, are you high? I say, yeah, absolutely. I'm high every single day, deep divers off that. Woo! Good ass prana, baby. Shout out to everybody in the chat. The world's greatest lie. Now, deep divers, I want to remind you of this. The reason why I'm so free is because I say whatever I want. I say whatever I feel. I don't have any censorship. A lot of people are like me. Because I meet a lot of deep divers. And they want to say stuff. They're like, Ralph, I really want to say this, but I'm scared. The world's greatest lie so many people tell themselves is that if I say this, it's going to be bad for me. If I say this, what are they going to think? Who cares about what they think? The only thing that matters is what you think. The world's greatest lie is that somebody is coming to get you. When the truth is that, no, you are the one standing in your own way. What? Slow motion this side. Deep divers. There are no rewards for playing it safe. There are no rewards for playing it safe. Shout out to you in the chat. Take a chance. Absolutely. You got to take a chance, deep divers. There are no rewards for playing it safe. So just remind yourself, deep divers, every single day, you can take a risk because the universe reveals its secrets to those who dare to follow their hearts. If I didn't take the risk back in the day, I wouldn't be where I am today. So remind yourself, deep divers, you have to go for it. That dream you have to go for it. That vision you have to start going for it. Because if you don't, you are going to have to tell your grandchildren, well, I chickened out. And ain't nobody got time for that. Deep divers, the world's greatest lie, once again, is that you are just this physical body. The world's greatest lie, deep divers. And that's why when I look at people diving deep, different colors, different creeds, different nationalities, I say, okay, we've got one thing in common. We realize this is all an illusion. My name is not Ralph Smart. That's the name somebody gave me. I'll take it though. But that's not the name I chose for myself. So I want you to remind yourself, deep divers, your name is not the name they gave you. And that's why in ancient cultures, they chose their names. You reach a certain age where you gave yourself your own name. The world's greatest lie is that you are John, you are Mary, you are Peter. No, these are matrix names. So you have to start knowing who you really are. Deep divers. Shout out to everybody diving deep. Once again, deep divers, the world's greatest lie. Sometimes you see people with everything, but they don't have a lot. I always remember the story of this very famous model who contacted me. She's like, Ralph, I watch your videos every single day. She was a Victoria's Secret model. And she's like, Ralph, I don't like myself. I feel I'm ugly. But I'm like, hey, you got millions of followers. She's like, Ralph, I don't like how I look. I don't like my body. I'm like, what? So the world's greatest lie is that don't think that people who seem to have everything on the outside are happy on the inside, right? Because that's not always the case. I told you, happiness is something totally different than just having a lot of money, having a lot of followers. You gotta love yourself, deep divers. That's got nothing to do with money or how many followers you have or how many subscribers you have, right? Deep divers, shout out to you. I want you to remind yourself today that you are the power. They can't stop us because there are too many of us. But I want you to remind yourself that it's all on us right now. We are the only ones we have right now. Because like Michael Jackson said, they don't really care about us. All I really want to say is they don't really care about us. So you have to start caring about you. You got to start caring about your community. And that's the way forward. Deep divers, you are appreciated. Feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? Shout out to everybody on the chat. I need a moderator. Deep divers, I'm just experimenting, you know. And I got nature videos to drop, but I haven't dropped them yet because I'm like, let me just do a live stream. Let me just do a live stream, deep divers. Shout out to everybody diving deep. If you've got a question, let me know. If there's something you want me to dive into, let me know. Once again, deep divers, this is our time. This is the great awakening. Even the cat down the road is excited about this time. So remind yourself, let love guide you, not fear. We've already won. We've already won, deep divers. So celebrate, remind yourself we're in the best times because right now, everything is getting revealed. This is the apocalypse, deep divers. Shout out to you. I love all of you. And I want you to know one thing, deep divers. The world's greatest lie. Let me keep it going. Let me keep it going. Okay. The world's greatest lie is that you're too big because you've reached a certain level. Deep divers, my mom still pulls me by the ear. She's like, Ralph, get in the kitchen. Just kidding. My mom's very caring, deep divers. But I thought YouTube would change me. But I actually realize I'm still the same. But I've seen little fame, little money change a lot of people. The world's greatest lie is that just because you've reached a certain level of success, you're better than other people. And this is the trap a lot of people fall in. I've got friends who are also influencers on Instagram, on YouTube. They don't even interact with their audience because they feel they're above them, right? And that's the world's greatest lie because once again, we are all the same. We are just energy. The reason why this COVID-19 is happening, this coronavirus is happening, is because once again, human beings have forgotten their power. The reason why they can create a man-made virus and have the whole planet in lockdown is because human beings are divided. The cabal always stick together. They always work together. They don't care about your color. They're like, hey, we got a job to do. And that's to enslave as many humans as we can and make sure they are in lockdown for the rest of their days, right? So they work together. But human beings say, oh, I don't like your color. Oh, you're from a different country than me. So you have to remind yourself, deep divers, people on the top, right at the top of the pyramid, they already get it. They're like, we're all energy. We're all stardust. There are no colors, no nationalities, no countries. The world's greatest lie is that there are countries. No, deep divers, all countries are man-made. All countries are man-made. Even race is a man-made construct. If you don't know where race came from, You have to study Blumenbach. He created race. German anthropologist. Blumenbach created the concept of race because he needed, and this is also part of eugenics, they needed a reason to enslave other people. So they said, okay, they were 3/5 of a man, right? But most people don't know that. So you have these check boxes of your nationality. You don't even realize you're getting played because I told you, at the top, there are no colors. There are no colors at the top, deep divers. Shout out to everybody diving deep. You are appreciated. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see a lot of deep divers diving deep. Let me keep it going. Let me keep it going. Okay, you asked how to be an independent artist. Drop your questions. Let me answer your questions, deep divers. It's all about the chat right now. How to be an independent artist. Let me give you some tips. Number one, utilize all platforms right now. That's number one. Number two, make sure you realize music is not going to get you there. Music alone is not going to get you there. If you want to be an independent artist right now, learn how to live stream. Live stream every single day. Let people know about your personality, who you are. Let people get to know you. Like deep divers, if I bought an album, if I made an album, would you buy it? Yeah? Thank you. You would buy it, right? Thanks. So you have to remind yourself, deep divers, in today's world, music is free. Let me repeat that. In today's world, music is free. What? In today's world, music is free. Nobody is buying music. Everyone is streaming it. So as an artist, you can only depend on your live show. There's no money to be made in music like there was back in the day. Now, all of these mainstream artists are suffering right now. Why? Because concerts are canceled. Drake makes $1 million every single show. So as an artist, you want to make sure, independent artists, make sure you're working on your live performance, but also make sure you are totally different. You see, with this whole great awakening, people are starting to realize that people have been selling formulas. You know, the old music video deep divers with the girls in the videos, the cars, the fancy houses? Yeah, that's been played out. We can already see that's the illusion. So if you want to be an independent artist, make sure you are as different from everybody else as possible. Remind yourself, deep divers, that this is the best time to be an independent artist, but you have to learn how to own your publishing. Nipsey Hussle, he was smart. He owned his own publishing. That's why all of his children are taken care of. So as an artist, the first thing you need to know is that, hey, I have to own the rights to my music. As an independent artist, make sure you write all of your songs. Don't get a songwriter. Make sure you are the songwriter. Rihanna, Umbrella, do you know who wrote that song? The Dream wrote that song. He got a $15 million check off Rihanna's song Umbrella, even more than Rihanna, because he got the publishing. There's a reason why Jay-Z bought back his albums and why Jay-Z does not have any of his music on YouTube. He's taken a lot of albums off YouTube because he's all about his own publishing. So as an artist, you want to make sure you own your own publishing. The reason why a lot of artists, you thought they were rich, but they got screwed over. Why did Mace say, hey, Puffy, can I get back my masters? Puff Daddy was like, we ain't having that shit. I own you, right? So you have to make sure you're not in that position, begging people for your masters back. As an artist, it's not just about making music. You have to learn, like Dr. Dre said, it's called a music industry. The music business. It's a business. If you're an artist, like when they tell you an artist gets $5 million, the world's greatest lie, that's only a loan they've got to pay back. That includes transportation. That includes hotels. That includes accommodation. That $5 million the artist got is just a loan. They have to pay it back. That's why a lot of artists aren't as rich as you think they are. The true artists who really get wealthy are those who own the publishing, the songwriters, the producers who own the beats. So make sure you put in 10,000 hours to your craft if you are an independent artist, but make sure right now you realize it's more than just the music right now. You have to come with something else. Okay? Start streaming. Deep divers. How to channel your anger into something good. Shout out to you, Geogo. Okay, let me answer that. How to channel your anger into something good. I want to remind yourself, deep divers, anger is okay. People say, Ralph, you're so calm. Deep divers, don't tell me that. I'm mad right now. No. To channel your anger, deep divers, I always give this method. You have to exaggerate your anger. Okay, how do we do this? Let's say you're really angry. Then I want you to laugh with it. And all of a sudden, you're going to turn your anger into a laugh. Right? And that's sometimes I'm angry. Then I start exaggerating the anger. And all of a sudden, I'm channeling the anger. I'm actually turning the anger into laughter. But it is okay to express anger. But remind yourself, deep divers, whoever angers you controls you. What? Slow motion this side. Whoever angers you controls you. Master your emotions, deep divers, and you will master your life. Deep divers, keep it going. If you got a question, let me know. The world's greatest lie. You're asking, shout out to you, Dawit, how excited am I about the shift? That's what they asked in the chat. Deep divers, I'm the most excited I've ever been. Because with this shift comes a whole new mindset. Let me tell you this, deep divers. I did a live stream yesterday, and those videos are deleted. Because I said, hey, let's do the real one today. Why would I do that? Because I know I can recreate anything, deep divers. I am God. What? Slow motion this side. And you are a goddess. And you are a god. We are stardust. We can recreate anything. And I want you to remind yourself of that, deep divers. Okay, I've had videos which didn't even get released. The hard drives got messed up. I was feeling bad. Then I said, wait a minute, I can redo it. So remind yourself, deep divers, we are in the time where we are leaving the 3D and we are entering the 5th dimension. Now, the 5th dimension actually corresponds to the digital age, okay? Because the internet is an example of the 5th dimension, where past, present, and future are all happening simultaneously. Let me give you an example. If you write something on the internet, it's in the present, but you can actually go back in time and change it. Right? So, and also you can schedule things. So that's the future. So you have the past, present, and the future happening simultaneously. That's what the 5th dimension is like, just like the internet. There is no time. You can go back, you can change stuff, you can live in the future as well. Shout out to everybody diving deep. Let me keep it going. Please talk about the Kabbalion and Hermeticism. Okay, deep divers, the world's greatest lie. Let me talk about as above, so below, as within, so without. You see, in ancient Egypt, you had Tahuti, who was the master scribe, and he actually came up with the 7 Hermetic principles, okay? And then the Greeks went into Egypt and they had Mercury, okay? And I want you to remind yourself of the 7 Hermetic principles. As above, so below. As within, so without. How you feel internally will dictate what you experience externally. And that's why on the planet with this COVID-19, if you are in a perpetual state of fear, not only are you weakening your immune system, but you are creating a terrible reality for yourself outside there. And that's why the sages, the mystics, always knew that whatever I feel internally will be what I experience externally. So there's always a mirror. Life is a mirror. Life is an echo. Deep divers, the world's greatest lie. Oh, you heard the song? Until It's Gone, right? A lot of people don't know I make music, deep divers. You should by now. You're asking, is this the New Age movement? Is this the New Age movement? What is the New Age movement? Deep divers. Shout out to everybody diving deep. This is most definitely a new age because this is the age of Aquarius. That's why shit is hitting the fan right now. That's why so much is happening right now on the planet. Let me keep it going. Let me keep it going. A lot of people are coming out of the woodworks. A lot of people who weren't awake before are now awake. A lot of people who were really asleep are now waking up. People are saying, hey, we can see what you're trying to do with a problem reaction solution. We can see what you're trying to do with these vaccinations. And we ain't having it. And the new age is all about people really starting to create a new earth. And that's what this is also about. That's why I told you, with a great ending comes a whole new beginning. So don't get down, because a lot of people are depressed right now. A lot of people are anxious right now, and that's okay. That's what they want you to feel. But there's a whole nother beautiful reality emerging, a whole nother beautiful world emerging. Shout out to everybody diving deep. We ain't having it. Absolutely, we are not having it, deep divers. You know, I want to remind you of this, deep divers. You have to realize the power of your voice right now to get a message out there. You see, the reason why people like XXXTentacion was like the Tupac to his generation is because he was saying something in his music. And you have to make sure you are saying something in your messages as well. Because you are young, you have energy. And we need more young people to put the message out there. You got to remind yourself, deep divers, when I was on YouTube, I was fresh out of college. Baby hair. Right? And that's why I created such a storm on YouTube, because I was young and I was a force to be reckoned with, and I'm still young. So I want you to remind yourself that, hey, don't just say, hey, let me leave it to these old folks to talk about what's going on. No, you need to be out there on the battlefields and start spreading that message out there. Shout out to everybody diving deep. Once again, a lot of people are empaths right now. And the world's greatest lie, deep divers, is that you have to accept every energy. You don't have to do that. You can be selective. You can say, actually, I don't need this energy anymore. Take it back. Get a refund, deep divers. In life, you can always get a refund. I made a very famous video, how to stop absorbing other people's energy. And the news has to be put on quarantine. The media has to be put on quarantine, right? You don't have to absorb all of that energy. And shout out to everybody. I want to say shout out to everybody who has been diving deep. Shout out to you on the chat. Shout out to you, Nisa. We ain't having it. Absolutely. Shout out to you, Renata. Shout out to everybody diving deep. And you are appreciated. Don't worry. They didn't delete the video. We got another video. Because we aren't victims, deep divers. We are co-creators of our own reality. You can't stop the truth, deep divers. It's just too big. Shout out to everybody diving deep once again. And once again, deep divers, you are appreciated. Just remind yourself every single day, empower yourself. Don't believe this is the way. This is the way things have to be. Deep divers, this is not how the world has to be. The world can be what you want it to be. And we're in a great time, deep divers. We're in a great time because their spell is becoming undone. I told you, Bill Gates was one of the most loved people on the planet because of Microsoft. But all of a sudden, the masses turned on him because they started to say, wait a minute, what's up with these vaccinations? Where's your medical degree? Where's your medical license? You're telling us about vaccinations, but you haven't even got a medical degree. So things aren't adding up. So you got to remind yourself, deep divers, people are waking up. And even though they try to censor you, they can't censor the truth. They can only delay it. Oh my gosh. What? Slow motion this side. Say it again, Ralph. They can't censor the truth, deep divers. They can only delay it. Oh, baby. I already knew, deep divers, that they messed up with this one. Because when you take away someone's freedom, you're going to piss someone off. When you keep the whole planet in lockdown, you're going to annoy a lot of people. People are going to start to think. Even people who are so plugged in the matrix, they're starting to ask the big questions. Hey, why do I have to be in quarantine? Because once again, just like Dr. Erickson said, there is no reason for healthy people to be in quarantine. Quarantine is for the sick, people who need help. And like I told you, everything that's happening is symbolic. When you're seeing people wearing a mask, that's symbolic of them losing their freedom of speech. This is symbolic of the Orwellian state that's coming to a lot of people all around the planet. That soon everyone is going to be wearing a mask, no speech, no smiles, under control. Don't let that be you, deep divers. Don't be another bot in the matrix. Slow motion, baby. Shout out to everybody diving deep. Woke people are my favorite. Absolutely. Shout out to you, Fairy. Woke people are my favorite deep divers. You know, I want to send a huge shout out to everybody who's been sharing their information on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, who are really getting the information out there. A lot of people are sharing, and that's you on this live chat. And you have to keep on doing what you're doing because trust me, your message is getting out there. No mask. I don't wear a mask, deep divers. People say, why not, Ralph? I say, hey, because the universe is already protecting me. My immune system, I'm working on building my immune system every single day. 7-day vegan challenge, eating delicious grapes, figs, strawberries, turmeric. You don't need to be in fear every single day. I told you, deep divers, just like Dr. Erickson said, when you are washing your hands 20 times a day, 20 times a minute, if you are afraid of germs, you fail to realize that germs actually strengthen your immune system. Your immune system can deal with a hell of a lot of things. And we need to not be afraid of our environment. Can I talk about Bill Gates and the vaccines? I already did. Check out the last live stream, but let me go into it again. COVID actually means Certificate of Vaccination ID. That's what COVID means. Certificate of Vaccination ID. That's what this is all about. It's about a digital identification. They are going to start saying, okay, have you been vaccinated or haven't you been vaccinated? And this is all about the eugenics program to depopulate the planet. Did you know, deep divers, they said, and this was Melinda Gates, that COVID-19 is going to kill millions of Africans, right? Millions of Africans, because that's what this is all about. They want to depopulate the whole planet. And they're telling you that coronavirus is on its way to Africa. And Africa better watch out. So, like I told you, you have to make sure you are the lion and not the sheep. You're making noise. You're banging your doors to say, hey, we ain't having it. Nobody can make you do anything against your will. I told you, let love guide you, not fear. Nobody can say, hey, take a vaccine. You might have to do what Muhammad Ali did, because at that time they're like, hey, go to Vietnam. He said, I don't want to go. What happened to him? They put him in jail. But what happened to him? He became the greatest. Oh my God. Slow motion this side. If you don't fight for what you want, deep divers, you will cry for what you lost. Let me repeat that. If you don't fight for what you want, you will have to cry for what you lost. Deep divers, shout out to everybody on the chat. I see you, deep divers. Slow motion. And we are the power deep divers. I want to remind you of this, deep divers, that right now, a lot of people are starting to see the world in a whole new way. And this whole term conspiracy theorist is actually a term the cabal developed to control human beings and stop them from speaking the truth. So when I call you a conspiracy theorist, it's very dismissive. It's saying, hey, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. Why are you saying that the coronavirus the numbers are being manipulated? Why are you saying 5G is bad? Why are you saying that, wait a minute, something else might be going on here? You're just a conspiracy theorist. But in actuality, you're open-minded. So you got to remind yourself, deep divers, that you aren't crazy if you are thinking outside of the box they have put you in. Oh, baby. It just means you're woke. Like I say, you're just woke. You're just waking up. You're just smelling the BS that they've been feeding you. And you're like, actually, I don't like the smell of that. We ain't having it. I saw David Icke, and I'll actually get him on the show on Infinite Waters. I saw David Icke about 10 years ago in Wembley. And he spoke for like 10 hours. And everybody in that room, we were all thinking the same thing. We were all thinking the same thing, that, oh, I get it. We are the sane ones, right? So you have to remind yourself, deep divers, that it's not about you thinking that you're crazy. There are many people who are speaking the truth. Shout out to Dr. Phil Valentine, a master teacher. Shout out to Bobby Hemmett, master teacher. David Icke coming out with his truth. And it's not about are they right or are they wrong? It's about your freedom of speech. If they are censoring information, YouTube has demonetized so many of my videos because I'm talking about the coronavirus. I say, that's cool. I'm already wealthy. Don't worry about it. But they're taking away your freedom of speech. And that's why you have to fight to protect it. So anybody should be able to say whatever they want because it's called freedom of speech. Why would they censor the truth? Why would they censor someone's opinion unless they're afraid of it? Because it's the truth. You will only censor somebody if you're afraid because it's the truth. And that's what's happened. That's why it's guidelines, because they don't want the truth to come out there. You know, I told you, they're afraid of the truth, but they can't stop the truth. That's the thing. They already know they can't stop the truth. You know, Tupac tried to tell you in Illuminati. He was way ahead of the game. He already saw it. And he was trying to tell you that, hey, you got to kill Illuminati. You got to kill that shit. You got to stop worrying about these secret societies. There are no secret societies unless you give them power. And that's a secret, deep divers. You have to become the illuminated one. Like I told you, I'm Illuminati, which means I'm illuminated. Right? So it's time for you to take back your power. Dr. Phil Valentine, absolutely. Bobby Hemmett. JFK warned us, absolutely. But like I told you, deep divers, this is the time where you take back your power. This is the time where you become the lion that you are. You start roaring, you start making noise, you start banging your doors. I can say whatever I want. You want to be in a position where you can say whatever you want. The world's greatest lie, deep divers, is that everybody can speak their heart and mind. No, a lot of people can't. Kanye West said this: if you say anything, you lose everything, deep divers. If you say anything, you lose everything, deep divers. So realize a lot of people, celebrities, they can't even say what they really want to say. Otherwise, they will lose everything. Right? So the people that can actually speak their heart and mind are the freest people on the planet. If you can actually say what you feel, you're the free one. You're the wealthy one. Some people can't say what they really want to say. They got to mince their words. They got to hide it because once again, they've made deals. They're in contracts. Everybody on the news can't say what they really want to say. They have to report the news. So remind yourself, deep divers, that you have power in your freedom of speech. Delbert Blair, absolutely. Dr. Delbert Blair, master teacher. I learned from all of those master teachers, Dr. Phil Valentine, Delbert Blair, Bobby Hemmett. What do I think of Spiritual Soul? Shout out to Spiritual Soul in the building, baby. You got to remind yourself, deep divers. I love to see people who are sharing information. Shout out to my brother Preston Smiles, deep divers. Go and check out Preston Smiles videos. Another awakened one. But this is your time. Like I told you, you don't want it just to be me and a few other people on YouTube. It's about you right now. Because once again, in this age of Aquarius, it's not about looking up to anybody. It's about riding along with them. You got to be side by side with me. And you got to realize that actually, hey, I can be something as well. I can start having my own platform on YouTube. Everybody got to rise up right now. But it's great to see a lot of people who are coming out of the woodwork saying stuff. A lot of people coming out of the woodworks and saying stuff. That's what it's all about right now. It's not about me. It's about other people. What did Tupac say? He won't change the world, but he will spark the mind of the person who does. What? Slow motion this side. I used to listen to Machiavelli, Tupac a lot. I'm like, gosh, he was inspiring to me. He was inspiring to me because once again, a lot of music doesn't have a message in it. A lot of his music had a message. Keep your head up. Brenda's Got a Baby. The world's greatest lie, deep divers, is in the music. Right now, they're pumping in the Matrix. But people are awakening. And right now, I told you, we're bringing back the truth. So if you are an artist, if you are somebody, an author, a scientist, make sure you bring the truth in everything you do, because this is the time of truth right now. Deep divers, shout out to everybody diving deep. I got love for everybody. I got love for everybody diving deep. And that's the whole thing right now. The world's greatest lie, deep divers, is that the day you were born has no significance. A lot of people know about 11/11. A lot of people know about 222. A lot of people know about 333. And if you realize that, like Nikola Tesla said, study 369 and you will understand and understand the secrets of the universe. The cabal work on numbers. That's why you have a subscribe account. That's why you have a follow account. Because numbers govern everything in this existence. So if you learn the time you were born, your life path number, the day you were born, you'll start to know about what you're supposed to be doing on the planet. I told you, deep divers, the reason why I'm protected, because I've been making a lot of videos. How come they haven't got you, Ralph? Nobody can get me, deep divers. I'm a wizard, right? Because I'm 33. I was born on March 3rd at 3:03. 33. You have 33 vertebrae in your spinal column. When they say Jesus died at age 33, it only means he rose into Christ consciousness. What? Slow motion this side. So nobody has power, deep divers. You have all the power. Nobody is out to get you. Nobody's out to get you. Nobody cares, deep divers. It's you that's out to get you. Heaven and hell exist within you. The world's greatest lie is that there are monsters coming to get you. Illuminati's coming to get you. Nobody's coming to get you, deep divers. The whole world is an illusion. The only thing that's real is the world inside of you. That's what the film The Matrix was all about. The agents, all of these things was all about Neo externalizing his power until he realized he was the one. He was player one in the video game. He could control the video game, the simulation that this world is. It's all a simulation. And that's why if you learn, not just me saying it, study the work of the theoretical physicist, Dr. James Gates, who started to look at the universe, and then he saw that the universe just works like a web browser full of zeros and ones. So this entire world is a simulation. That's a good thing, because that means it's a virtual reality. And that means you can become anything you want to become. So you don't have to take everything so seriously. You can loosen up. You can do a little dance. But also, because it's a simulation, why are you going to be a slave to it? You're supposed to be a master of the game, not a pawn on the chessboard. You're the greatest player. Shout out to you, Tracy is the greatest player. Once again, deep divers, there you have it. Feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? Shout out to everybody on this live. We did it, deep divers. And like I told you, nobody is coming to get you. Nobody is against you. Let love guide you, not fear. The world's greatest lie is that this is how the world has to be. No, deep divers, the world can be whatever you want it to be. Have a beautiful day, deep divers. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you. Shout out to you, Emma. I see you. The whole world is a stage show. Deep divers, I'll be back tomorrow for another live. And we got a whole lot to talk about. Much love to you. Peace. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace. You, we ain't having it. No, we ain't. Deep divers, shout out to you. I love you all. Peace.